Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigil here, welcome back to our video. So in this one, we're gonna go ahead and pretty much showcase you my top 6 teams on the main account. Because none of the fights I'm gonna have here are gonna be particularly difficult, so I can showcase them easily. I mean, as long as we save Batman on the ground for Sub-Zero, it should be fine. So we're gonna do the following thing. Today I'm gonna post this video and we're gonna go full pay to win. I don't care. I'm gonna use that bait club as many times as I need to. And maybe tomorrow we're gonna try to do kind of a free to play version of that and see how much the difference is. And by free to play I mean I'm not gonna use any artifacts that you don't have a guarantee to drop. But yeah, for today's video, let's start with the Batman Ninja team. This is Batman Ninja Gorilla Grodd with Beta Club, and Beta Club does dot damage, which is based on his hits. And then that dot damage also scales with lethal damage, crit damage, so he's basically getting double benefit from that. He's gonna get some lethal from Robin, and he's gonna get some lethal from Brainiac, and Brainiac is gonna pretty much the entire fight spam specials with the puppet to keep the negative effects up. I'm gonna go a bit more into explaining this time than I usually do. I know I can explain those things sometimes in some fights, but in this video we're gonna have kind of every explanation in one place. So with puppets, because I never go too in-depth explaining this, though it's pretty self-explanatory. You look at the description and you see here increase incoming damage, which happens every 5 times you use it. Uh, oh, yeah, if you have it at level 10. If you don't have it at level 10, it's not a guarantee you'll hit it, but this is what we're looking for, and this is the gameplay we're pretty much gonna do our best to try and keep as many damage against target active while Grodd deals damage with Bait Club. So let's get going. This is a very strong team, though I don't think I've used it with this amount of passive stats. We have a level 5 Kamidogo Dagger, in case I forgot to showcase that. But yeah, I don't think I've fought 2 billion health fights with this low passive stats recently, so I can't tell for sure. We tag in Grodd and we make sure to apply the Beta Club and the Grodd passive, because that's 4 negative effects, which means Brainiac is gonna instantly get into infinite power with only one special one. I mean, of course, if you have a lower level puppet, you might miss the negative effect, and then that's not gonna be the case for you. But generally speaking, you're gonna activate in one special. We're just gonna not tag Grodd at this point. We're gonna go all the way to 10 stacks. We're gonna do a couple of these special tweets, what we're gonna spam. Right now I just try to buy time until the super move. But yeah, now we switch to special 2 with Brainiac, as he can no longer stack more lethal damage. He can no longer give us more than that. So what we're gonna try and do is use special 2, because we got a little bit of a shorter animation to make sure we efficiently apply puppets. And with Grodd you're gonna tag in, and you ideally want to trigger Beta Club with the jump attack, and you want that jump attack to happen ideally as close as possible to the tag out of Grodd. You want Brainiac to be in there spamming special 2s as much as possible. Though, if you do not get a good value, because you can miss a good value on a jump attack, what you should do is try again. Though, don't do it more than 2 or 3 times, because at that point you're losing too many damage against targets. Okay, and jump attack here. That's a bad jump attack. Let's try again. That's a bad one. Okay, we got a lot of bad ones, but you need to eventually tag out. You're gonna have a tag on Brainiac for the dot damage is a bit lower, but it's definitely worth keeping the puppet up. I mean, you're gonna keep puppet up regardless, keeping the damage against targets stacking up. Where did we get that 40 mil from? Can we go back to that? It's going fine for the most part. I don't think there's any way we don't kill this man. I know how that turned into a lower value there. We were at 20 something mil at some point and it decreased a lot. Whatever. Barely has any health left. Okay, that went well. Let's move on to the next fight. Okay, so here we have League of Anarchy. We got Harley with the Dark Metal cards. Something kind of worth mentioning here is that they have some lethal damage as well on the Dark Metal cards, so that's helping out with the damage. They have lethal chance on Harley. That might be something you might not have. I mean, she's still gonna deal a lot of damage regardless, but that's pretty good on her. Though I haven't managed to get the lethal talent here. Though we get a lot of these actually. Okay, let's do a reroll live just to showcase how inconvenient it is to get lethal damage on the talent, because I know for a fact it exists. I've seen screenshots of it, but I can just never get it. Also, we're gonna be missing out on some crit, but it's fine. I can add that on the gears. That's not gonna be absolutely any problem if we miss that. But I would love to see that legendary lethal damage over here. I think I'm gonna skip this section because the load time for the talents is too slow, and it's kind of detracts from the purpose of this video. Oh, look at that, we got in legendary defense. Oh boy, I actually got it, let's go! That's real nice! And I did put some crit chance on the gears, so now it's all good. And yeah, I know I have Dark Malkar, so I have a guarantee to crit, but like, I would like to still have some decent crit chance for the other artifacts that I'm sometimes using. But yeah, we're using Harley and DPI here, that's pretty self-explanatory, the League of Anarchy, and I'm using Girl of Steel Supergirl, which gives them a damage buff. She's also gonna have a sort of salvation for power generation. And honestly, I don't think Girl of Steel Supergirl is even close to the best option for the League of Anarchy, but it's like, it's definitely helping them. It's helping them pretty good. She's not the best because she's bad, she's not the best because other things are a lot better. And at the same time, she's not really needed by other teams, so I find it often that this is the best place for her. Also, I really recommend Dark Metal cards if you use her with them. Because she's gonna give you a damage buff. If you're using Crown, for example, you would also get a damage buff. And as a general rule, without getting into too deep explanation about this, is the following, and this is never gonna fail you. You are, generally speaking, better off having different things buffing your damage than a huge amount of one single thing. It just makes sense, trust me. If I use Crown on Harley, I would have a preference actually for Classic Wonder Woman as my support, because that gives me a bit of free damage. Generally speaking, you're gonna be doing Special 1 and Special 2s. I find that most optimal to get the damage. You're gonna attack Harley in and out for a few specials, because Celestial Supergirl does need quite a lot of power to be spent if I can tank this.
I'm not even tired.
Okay, we're one tagging away from maxed out damage buff. And we're done. We're no longer gonna attack her, though I wanted to get some power before I take her out. And now Harley's gonna deal huge amounts of damage. Also, maybe I'm just tripping, but I feel like that's a huge damage increase from that lethal damage we got on that talent. I feel like my Harley's kinda slaps now. Okay, so that's the League of Anarchy. Let's move on to the next team. Okay, so here we have Zatanna with puppets, Mr. Freeze with Bait Club, and Classic Wonder Woman with the Kamidogu Dagger equipped. So yeah, let's go against Mr. Freeze. The goal of this is Zatanna's gonna provide me with a damage buff, and then she's gonna go ahead and keep using specials with infinite power to keep stacking puppets. And it's pretty much the same as the Grodd fight, only instead of Grodd we have Mr. Freeze, instead of Brainiac we have Zatanna. The other difference is going to be that the enemy kind of needs to be frozen, because we deal additional damage against frozen enemies, so obviously we want them to be frozen. This was a bit of a mistake, like, we're gonna activate Puppet a bit faster because I got the Beta Club attacks on him, but at the same time we're gonna not have that much power to power drain from him. Because Beta Club slows power generation.
Oh, you're all right. Never mess with a magic. That was amazing. Never mess with a magic. Oh, you're all right.
It should be fine.
That was amazing. Never mess with a magic. That was
Also, Mr. Freeze kind of gets
all right. Never mess with a magic.
damage buffs from spending power bars, and that's currently very far away from being fully stacked.
Magic yet? That was amazing. Never mess with a magic. I love magic. Believe in magic yet? Oh, you're all
Okay, this is not ideal. So what we want to see here happen as far as the gameplay loop goes, we want to tag Zatanna, and we want Zatanna to actually break the freeze and then activate it while spamming him with specials.
with a magic. Oh, you're all right.
This is a bit of a better timing. We don't want the freeze to break at any point during Mr. Freeze's tagging. So sometimes that's not that avoidable because we might need to jump 2 times. Okay, this is a bad tagging, by the way. Can you get frozen, buddy? There we go, there we go. This is a bit more chaotic than the Grodd Brainiac fights.
Never mess with a magic.
Like, that one is a lot easier to get a little bit of a straightforward pattern out of. This is a bit more chaotic. But it does the damage. 31 mil, that's nice.
Oh, you're all right. Never mess with a magic. Oh, you're all right.
Winter comes early.
Okay, let's move on to the next fight. Okay, so here we have Raven with Sword of Sin, Aquaman with Beta Club, then Dr. Fate with Kamidogo Dagger. This is, bro, we're doing a video showing my best pay-to-win team, so we gotta play this team. Like, this is a staple in the pay-to-win side of things. So Raven plus King with Beta Club. I very rarely, almost never play this team anymore, because I've played it at this point so much in the past that I am extremely bored of it. But I couldn't really do a video about my top 6 strongest teams on the main accounts using pay-to-win artifacts without including this. It's just such a staple. And I guess you can add a little bit of flavor to it. You can use a Raiden instead of King as a damage dealer. You can even use a goddamn Shazam. But like, this is the least unachievable result out of the entire fights. Because now we have the Kamidogo Dagger, which is pretty much the free Beta Club as long as you're using it with Raven. It doesn't work in any other scenarios that you've seen so far in this video. But it definitely works with this team. You just put Twin Blade on King or on Constantine or on Raiden and pair it up with Raven. And it's gonna be a bit weaker than this, and you're gonna take a bit longer getting to that 2 billion damage benchmark. But it's gonna get there. And it's gonna be a very similar result to this, though this is strong. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how fast you do the 2 billion damage, it just matters to be able to do it. Yeah, that's Beta Club King for you, in case you missed it. And it's pretty much the synergy of Raven combined with the synergy of King getting a damage buff. Pretty much with Raven, any character in the game that already has a bit of a damage increase of its own, or a bit of a damage steroids, can, if you want to call it that, can do 2 billion with Beta Club plus Raven. And if you add Zatanna in the mix, because she kind of gives you a damage buff, you don't have to have it yourself. You can have some fun teams if you want to play that way, where you can do 2 billion damage with Beta Club with any character. You just add Raven, Zatanna, you stack Zatanna, you start with Raven, and then you tag that character. King simply already has the Zatanna part of that fight integrated in his kit. So I started rolling this on Batman Drone 2, and we get so far only thing a legendary resistances, which actually, How good is a 4% attack for me, really? I think I'm getting the resistances for now, actually. I didn't get lethal damage and I stuck with the resistances, but then I noticed that they didn't really work on Battle on the Drone too much and I took every epic that came my way. So we already had maxed out resistances, so this is totally useless here. But back to the topic, we got the Battle on the Drowned here, we got God here on Battle on the Drowns. Worth noting that on this one too, I also do have some hazard dot damage because I'm kind of always using it on her. We got Robin King with nothing, we're gonna quick pop it. And then we get just to flex for the full pay to win side of things, Video and Arkham Knight Batman in here. But the only thing he does different than the John Stewart Green Lantern is that he also gives some defensive stats to Robin, but the main reason why you need him is because he increases hazard dot damage. But so does John Stewart Green Lantern, and you can easily make that replacement. I'm just flexing a bit here, okay? And yeah, this team is Batman the Drone just doing her thing and robbing, helping her out a little bit. And you don't really need Robin King, but at the same time, he's gonna be pretty damn good to have. So Robin King gives you free damage and pretty much denies the enemy crit resistance and disables all their specials for a period of time, and also gets you to generate energy faster. Robin King is an upgrade to Batman Drone just from every single point of view. She's so strong that she can be fine without him, but once you get him, you're gonna understand how happy you are, and you would never want to go back to the state where you don't have Robin King, which is very frustrating for me personally, because I have 2 accounts, and on one of them, I don't have a Robin King, so I'm playing Batman the Drone without Robin King. Also, funny thing about Boss Sub-Zero here, he's actually able to reduce percentage hull damage with those shields. And I think also he reduces my hazard dot a little bit with them. I think we need to be doing a certain amount of combo to remove those shields. Okay, that's fine. Can we get the blind in there though? Where's the blind? How far is the blind? Okay, we got it. It was right. Coming up next. I don't know how much exact combo we need, though. We need to do a special on high combo, which is pretty much gonna happen once every big couple of seconds, because Batman Drone is gonna build combo before tagging in. But yeah, you basically build combo with Batman the Drone, and then while the hazard is active, you tag Robin King to deal percentage hull damage, spam special once to keep applying Puppet and keep the enemy blinded. It's extremely hard to mess this team up specifically, because it's not like it's the most straightforward or easiest gameplay. There's me when I'm spamming special 1 Puppet on Robin King and then tagging Batman Drone against the blinded target. But what makes it very easy is the tons of support things you have going your way. You have Puppet on Robin King, blinding and disabling his specials. You have the passive of Robin King, disabling his specials, and even Super. You have the God Killer, reducing the attack. You're literally turning the enemy into a non-enemy. You're making them a target dummy for you, which is something that could be argued for a lot of teams, I guess. But I feel like the Batman the John is kind of the most repressive team in this way, though also kind of any team with Puppet at that point. But yeah, let's move on. And for last team, this is, I mean, with this setup, it's gonna be a bit harder to get here, but like Martian Mantor is not that necessary here. You could replace him with a lot of things, and I don't think he's even the best choice. I think Classic Wonderman is the best choice, but we have Bait Club 1 Beast Boy, and we got Manta here. Manta's gonna add to any legendary character that uses a special 2 additional negative effects from one of his passives. It's open wounds. And Beast Boy also adds 2 negative effects when using a special. And Puppet adds 1 and needs 5 to activate, so this setup will make it so that Puppet activates instantly. Also, Beast Boy is pretty great because of the 3rd special that he has, which deals dot damage. And when you can absolutely spam this with Puppets, that's a pretty good result. And the only thing that Martial Mantor does here is increase the duration of negative effects, which, hey, it's pretty good, but it's not the most necessary thing. Also, I like to not open up with Beast Boy, because if I open with another character and then I tag Beast Boy at that point, I probably have enough energy for a special one. Or closer than if I started with him at least. You can combo and chop a bit, you can keep tagging in and out until you get that energy for one special, but that's all you need. And from that point on, it's over. We're just gonna spam the third special for a little bit. Build a bit of a buffer of negative effects. And an important thing is to do super move a bit early. You don't want him getting to super move or getting close to getting to super move, because after you do your super move, you want to build 40 combo, because you're gonna get to keep that 40 combo for quite a couple of seconds, and the damage you get from doing this is actually very worth it. But yeah, we're gonna want to keep that 45 combo, and you want to do it early because you're gonna need to do a few hits on him, and if he's got super move available already, he's gonna do it. And with this team, you can just avoid worrying about the enemy super move, so it's kind of worth doing that way. You're gonna deal a lot more damage in the first half of the fight while you can keep that combo, and now as soon as the combo went away, our damage is gonna fall off a little bit. Though it's okay, you're gonna make huge progress there. And it's gonna make up for the rest of the fight being slightly lower damage. I mean, not slightly, I think we deal like literally half the damage compared to when we were on combo, but that's still a lot of damage, and you just spam press the third special. And yeah, this is, I mean, this is the only Puppet team that is in the game that is extremely strong dealing damage with Puppet. There are other Puppet teams that you can use, but they're at best relatively strong. This is something else. Yeah, overall, those are kind of my best 5 pay-to-win teams. If I used to kind of put like a 7th, even though there are not 7 fights, I think at that place we would have either the Mortal Kombat team or Constantine with 2%, though we don't have Satana available. I don't know, probably Mortal Kombat team would be the next one in line if we were to line up another team. But yeah, Mortal Kombat, if I'm going full pay to win, sadly doesn't make it in my top 6 fights, but I think for sure make it for the free-to-play side of things. Yeah, thanks so much for watching, and tomorrow I think I'm gonna do the free-to-play best 6 teams I have on my main account, which I'm gonna play the characters on this account, but just not use the artifacts that you don't have a guarantee to get. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye!